Hi everyone, it's Alison Circle here at Columbus Metropolitan Library, where I am the Chief Customer Experience Officer, and I'm really excited today because I got a special guest who's really got a great story to tell that's so relevant to libraries. I'd like to introduce you to Todd Koch. And Todd is with Greyhound, and he's going to tell you a little bit about himself, but I really want you to pay attention because there's a lot of legacy development here that is really important to libraries. So Todd, thanks for coming here today, and tell us a little bit first about your role at Greyhound.
So at Greyhound, I head up most of the customer experience work that we do, including kind of our digital front end, all of our websites and our mobile apps, as well as how we are changing our service and our culture within the organization.
So you talk about a legacy brand. I think libraries definitely gets in that category, but Greyhound.
Yes.
So what have been some of your struggles and kind of what brought customer experience to the fore for Greyhound that you realized, man, we gotta use this banner to make a difference?
That's a really great question. So we, like you said, a legacy brand. We're over 100 years old. And we've been through some interesting cycles, some ups and downs, and through those types of cycles, you see change within an organization, and you lose focus sometimes on what's really important, and you lose focus on, in a business like ours, on what drives kind of growth. And so what we found is we honestly forgot we had customers, and shifted our focus more towards operational performance and financial performance. And so really learning and taking a step back and understanding that we have customers, that they are incredibly important, that they make our business thrive, and changing even the culture internally to refocus on being very customer-led versus operations-led.
And what are some of the key steps you took to make that shift away from just getting the buses out of the bus station and all of that to really thinking about how that impacts your customers?
So the first thing we did was we took a look at understanding what pain points customers are having with us today, what expectations they have of us and of our service, and where we're missing those expectations. And then we focused around taking each one of those individual pain points and fixing them and creating a plan to actually address those and improve the experience for each one of those touch points.
And when you think, I know a lot of people, you are in the customer experience world out there, as am I, and the inevitable question is how do we get the attention of leadership to make this change? Because it's been a pretty significant change for you. What are some of the key steps that you took in order to accomplish that?
So we did several things. One is we were very lucky that we did have a senior leadership team that understood in order to grow, we had to think differently. And so we were very lucky that we were able to bring in some help from the outside to help us think differently about a business that we had not had any real outside help on. So we brought in some consultants that helped us in that space. But I think one of the main things that helped us move fast was small, quick wins that we were able to implement ourselves within the organization that showed momentum, that showed even our own staff that we're there for them to help them make their jobs better on a daily basis, which makes them treat our customers better, which just kind of, it snowballs at that point. And so lots of little quick wins in the beginning to show momentum was really one of our key benefits of how we got it started.
So another thing you did that I thought was so fascinating is that you, with your pain points, you actually mapped them out. And talk a little bit about what the value was of that and how you actually did that and what its intent was.
Yeah, so we, when we started really understanding what our pain points were, unfortunately we found out very quickly we had far too many of them, and it became an exercise to even understand where along the customer's journey those pain points were. So we created this huge graphic that we have in our offices that everyone can walk by, and it's mapped out the entire customer journey and all those pain points and how they measure against what a customer's expectation is of that interaction. Whether or not we're meeting that expectation or not meeting it. And so what we do over time is, as we were working on individual pain points, we're actually going in and updating that chart for our employees, and so they can actually see it when they walk by. And they start to understand are you moving the needle in this area? Has customer satisfaction improved in this area or not in this area? And so it's been a really amazing tool for us internally to manage the view of how that journey is evolving.
So as we wrap up here, and I always like to ask people this question, which is, as somebody who wants to get started and is thinking and perceives the need, what's a piece of advice you would give to them?
So I would definitely say understand customer pain points and joy points and map them out. That sounds easier than it is, but understand where a customer has friction. Or even, if it's not a customer, if it's someone that uses your services, where they have friction and understanding the root cause of that friction, and then really building out a plan to address those. And I think the other key learning for us was bring your employees along. It is absolutely critical, was critical for us from a culture perspective, to make our team invested in our change. And it's really helped change the whole customer experience because they are as invested in the change as we are.
Yeah, it really makes a difference, doesn't it? Because you can't go forward if you don't have that team behind you.
No,
so, and often they're the ones who are out on the front.
exactly.
So, well, thanks, Todd, for your time. Thanks all of you for watching, and really appreciate your interest in customer experience. And we'll continue to add more content here. So keep looking. Thanks very much.